All right, everyone, welcome back to the channel. I know it's been quite a little bit since I last posted. I did have an anniversary, so maybe I took a bit of a break. I don't know that I post often enough to really justify that long of a break. Regardless, though, I am still posting, do not worry. We'll try to get right back on track from where we left off. Now, yesterday we had a lot of really fun news with the Immortal Empires, and so that's kind of got me hyped up. Hopefully that can, keep me hyped up enough to continue making videos until the next content drops somewhere in April. Don't know all the things, but I will say that cinematic they came out with was by far is now my new favorite cinematic for Warhammer Fantasy of all time. Amazing. Absolutely loved it. There's my little review. Okay, so this battle, I don't know if I could say I was rusty or if I was, just off race. I don't play Vampire Coast very often. However, I was very, very lucky. So, here is a build that I've been trying to kind of play with Vampire Coast. The front line doesn't matter too much. I went for Depth Guard polearms. Thought that would be kind of cool, but ends up being a bit of a mistake. Regardless, though, it's mainly a front line. I really like the black spot. And then a cannon in the back. We have Aranessa's Salt Spite, and a big reason we've brought her is Spearfisher's Net. This is a cannot move net that holds people in place. Very, very useful, especially for what I will show you here soon. I don't necessarily use this the way I intended to, but very, very key. Net on Aranessa. We've got a fleet captain, Vampire Fleet Captain, Lore of the Deep. I have only taken Van Geist's Revenge. I think this spell is obscenely strong. Now, I've gotten lots of flack for calling something OP before, but if something is OP on the Vampire Coast, or I don't know, their whole rosters maybe not. There's probably something else OP there. This spell, though, blows me away, and you're going to have a great time seeing why. But the idea with this build is that Aranessa can net down a very expensive infantry unit. Something like a Chosen unit would be awesome. Obviously, Dark Elves aren't going to have any of that, but if they had like a Blackguard and Nagaron, she would net them in place, guaranteeing a full shot of Van Geist's Revenge, which does an obscene amount of damage. So, either way, that's kind of a quick build there. I've got some Mourngulls that I have summoned to capture the side points. My opponent is bringing in 2 Harpies around the side to take out the Carronades. And my opponent also has a pretty unique build. I don't know if maybe we're both on off races in the sense that we don't play Dark Elves or Vampire Coast very much, but we definitely had some micro slip-ups, and I can't vouch for our builds too much. Now, I'm not a Dark Elf player, so maybe I know nothing. Maybe this guy's extremely good. But lots of Dark Shards with shields. I think, okay, a couple of them had shields. Oh, just the one. All right, anyway, Dark Shards. Very good archer unit. They have armor-piercing missiles. Not that that's going to be too much of a problem for me. Those Depth Guard polearms could definitely suffer in that scenario. Also, someone like Aranessa would go beat up. But Black Ark Corsairs, led by Malekith, who I believe just has, Gaze of Malice and Soul Stealer. And then we have 2 Bloodrack Shrines. This really threw me off. I don't see Bloodrack Shrines used very often, but I gotta say, I was pretty darn impressed with these. And you're going to see why soon. Like, this is a pretty wonky build from both of us, but we actually get a lot of value out of, I think, the main things we wanted to get value out of. And it was just a scrap fest to the end. So, here we get to probably the deciding pace of the game. My opponent set up his front line, and then he sent all the Dark Shards to go and attack, but the mistake is it created a very big line. So either his micro is paying attention elsewhere, but here we pop Van Geist's Revenge. I fetching love this spell. It takes forever to wind up. He would be able to dodge this no matter what, but there it goes, and it literally obliterates. Oh my gosh, it killed everything. It one-shot 2 units completely, shattered this unit, basically routed the entire line. The one Bleak Sword unit sticking around. Insane. I can't believe it, man. He wasn't looking. It should never happen in a match where 2 players are really paying attention and playing at their peak, but my goodness, was that amazing. Now, as you can see right here, Depth Guard getting absolutely bullied by these Bloodrack Shrines. I was very impressed at how much damage these things could do. My opponent did get the cannons offline, so I'm not really pressuring the Bloodwrack Shrines at all. They're just kind of getting to use all of their ammunition. So even though I literally wiped out that front line, value is actually kind of even. I'm only 1,000 value ahead at the moment. So it's not as bad as it seems, but that was huge. That was really, really, really bad. And as you can tell, or as we can see, the Vampire Fleet Captain has over 500 kills to start the match. Absolutely insane. 300 or 3,000 value. I was blown away. Now, I'm not trying to say that Vangeist's Revenge is an OP spell, but I don't think there's another spell in the game that does that kind of damage. Maybe I just haven't found it yet. Regardless, very, very insane. So, a couple Witch Elves coming from the opponent. I've got some Sirens as well to try and hold up this point. I'm losing 0.1, it seems, but we're sending those Mourngulls in. They're going to see if they can get rid of that. I guess I only had Hounds over there at one point. Aranessa has a really nice item called Kraken's Bane. It's a bonus versus large of +8 and melee attack +5, which is pretty much +13 attack bonus to anything she's around if it's fighting large, which Malekith is, and so he's getting absolutely wrecked. The net goes down on him to try and hold him in place so we can try and snipe him if possible. Bloodwrack Shrines are out of ammunition, so they're going to come into the fray, and point 2 is actually going to get contested here. These Witch Elves are not going to be able to, I mean, they're going to be able to fight everything here pretty much. Maybe not the heroes up on their mounts, but they can easily handle all of these zombie pirate deckhands. Sirens, not so much, but we have the answer. As you can see, both those Witch Elves are lined right up, bringing in another Vangeist's Revenge. They are stuck in combat, and they're not even going to get the chance. It's so insane, man. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I don't know. Like, last time I called something OP, the comments still come in saying this, like, I shouldn't call things OP or I shouldn't call that OP. And you know what? To be fair, it is very slow wind-up time. However, Aranessa has that net. She can guarantee it on at least one unit. So, and you saw the damage there. It can basically one-shot anything. It's insane. It does that much damage to, yeah, like really elite tier units like Chosen. So Aranessa plus that can really pull off really, really nice combos. Regardless, I am just getting, I think, a little bit lucky this game. My opponent's sticking with it, though. I am way ahead in value at the moment, so looks like we're probably going to be able to take this game. We've got Mourngull, Hunter... Oh, it's just Mourngulls. Why did I call Hunters? Is that the hero variant, maybe? Mourngulls on both sides, 0.1 and 2, or sorry, 0.1 and 3. 3 has not been contested at all, but 1 has been, and I'm going to be taking that away from my opponent here soon, which is pretty much the only points he's been having throughout this. Now, as you can see, this Vampire Fleet Captain's basically dead on his last legs. He's gotten almost 700 kills. Malekith was making sure to try and remove him. He's gonna fizzle out here very, very soon, but not before I can cast one final glorious Vangeist Revenge. It is Vangeist's Revenge, right? I'm not reading that wrong. Vangeist's Revenge, yep. There he goes. He is off the field, but he is able to shoot from a distance and almost obliterate that spear unit. Tons of damage, really turning the fight there. Mourngulls do not trade well into spears, but now they should be able to hopefully finish and win that fight. Beautiful, beautiful display from that Lore of Deep caster. I couldn't have been happier. But this is where the battle gets really, really scrappy. Now, I don't think that I'm going to have a problem closing this one out. I have a point back here at 0.3. And I'm past the 1,000 cap mark. I can almost home steep on a single point if I really, really wanted to. Obviously, I gotta wait a little bit longer. But the Dark Elf player has the courage to stick around and keep fighting, regardless of what was happening. Malekith is still alive. Those Soul Stealers, I think, have really been helping him out. He's almost to his healing cap. Oh, this was an interesting bug. So Aranessa put that net down, but because Malekith was taking off, it, like, canceled it out. It was the weirdest thing. So there's something interesting there. Nice little bug for you. I don't know if you care. Regardless, 0.2, we may just speed things along here. 0.2 is being contested still by the Dark Elves, but I don't think they're going to be able to get it. Aranessa does get beat off the point, but Malekith is being shot to pieces by the Black Spot, and he should not fall, but definitely rout. He's off. And 0.2 is being contested, but it's just too late. We have so much points. My opponent isn't sending anything over to 0.3. Has very little chance to cap 0.1. I mean, he could do it right now with the Cold One Riders, but the game's over at this point. Regardless, it was fun to at least see the neat strategies with those Blood Rack Shrines. I was very impressed with their damage. You can see each of those more than paid for themselves and actually almost kept my opponent up in damage value even after that first absolute slaughter from that Vaingeist Revenge. But man, oh man, what a battle. Pretty much a landslide, but I had to post it. I was grinning ear to ear after those couple casts, so absolutely loved it. Hopefully you enjoyed that too. I don't know what else there is to really say. Thanks for watching. Sorry that, again, it was 2 weeks since my last upload, but try to get a little bit more in the habit there. I know I say that probably every single video. I'll probably just shut up about it from here on out. Looks like we got that last net being used, but that is GG. Hopefully you enjoyed. I gotta say, that spell, Vaingeist Revenge, does so much damage to infantry units. Cavalry, not so much. It does probably like half HP to Cav, so it's still pretty decent into them, but it's mainly infantry. It does almost nothing to monsters or monstrous infantry. So for the most part, maybe that's something that you can claim is why it's balanced. You can really only use it against infantry units, and it's very easy to dodge unless, of course, Aranessa is netting them down or something along those ends. Aranessa, definitely paying for herself. She was pretty much dueling Malekith the entire time. She's very, very good anti-large duelist. This fleet captain with over 5k value. I don't think I've ever got that on a caster in my life. Maybe like a Kugath or something. The Great Unclean Ones tend to get a lot of value with their Mortis Engine effect. But obviously, Depth Guard did literally nothing this game. Very sad about that. Misplays and lucky plays going back and forth. Regardless, Depth Guard not doing much at all. Gunnery Right, always pretty reliable. Black Spot actually putting in a lot of work. I was very happy with that. Cannon obviously did nothing. The rest of this isn't going to be too much special. Just decent little performances out of all these different units. And we'll check over here at Malekith. 4k value. So, you know, he was punching back. As much as that was a bit of a slam, the Dark Elf player was definitely punching back with a lot of damage value. Malekith with over 4k, almost 4.5k. Both these Blood Rack Shrines paying for themselves very, very nicely. Obviously, this whole front line was completely decimated. And for the most part, not much else on this roster, I think, got too much value. But it is what it is. Regardless, I hope you enjoyed that one. I know it was a bit of a short contest. Obviously, things were over quite early on. Regardless, hope you did enjoy. Thank you so much for watching, and I will talk to you later.